Why do some people lose hair after their hair transplant? Even after the hair had grown for some time and then they may be lost. We'll be talking about this today. I am Dr. Arvind Poswal from Dr. A's Clinic, Delhi, India. And today I will help you understand what happens to the graft as it makes its journey from the donor to the recipient site, and how we can improve its survival also and its general state of health. For that you must understand that our hair graft contains hair root, but we have to look deeper than that. We look to the level of the root sheaths and the stem cells. Now in FUE the grafts are taken out, they are almost, you can say, plucked out. So when this is being done, there is a bit of handling of the root sheath. The stem cells are more exposed than what they would be if we had taken out a strip. But it is not that they get damaged to the extent that they will not grow. They still can grow. But we have to look after them. We can't just dry them up and just say that okay, now we'll put it no matter what. So those are the things which you have to understand. I'll go one by one. Why do some people lose hair after the hair transplant? And I am talking of the transplanted hair. One of the commonest causes is when doctors take hair from outside the safe donor area. This is the only safe donor area of the head. This tiny part, this part where Anupam Kher, the famous actor Anupam Kher, has hair today. So that is the only permanent part, or you can see it in another way. If people in your family have a lot of hair loss, then whatever hair is left in the baldest man in your family is the safe donor hair for your sake. So when you are getting a hair transplant done, you have to remember that graft should be taken out only from that area. I always mark out the donor area for my patients before the procedure. Show it to them, because these are the genetically permanent hair. These hair follicles, hair roots, they contain stem cells which have different genes. Those genes make sure that the hair follicle grows for life. But if you go above this, and I have seen many patients, many doctors are taking grafts from outside the safe donor area. Sometimes because it is easy, sometimes because they just do not have the required number of grafts and they are afraid to take grafts from the beard area. So that is a wrong thing to do. Do not take grafts from outside the safe donor area. That famous cricketer who got it done from that particular company, so they took it out grafts here and saying that they'll directly put, but what was the end result? After 2 years, almost 50% of those transplanted hair was gone. So do not fall for marketing gimmicks. Focus on the core points of a hair transplant. Hair transplant is a way in which you can get a natural looking new image for yourself. So why would you use something which is not permanent? So use only the permanent hair. Beard is also permanent, no one gets bald from the beard. Same for suprapubic hair, armpit hair. So these are hair, and these are a lot of hair, lot of grafts. We can easily get 8,000, 9,000 grafts for most people. And then also grafts will be left over for future use. Another 4,000 to 5,000 would be left over. So that is a lot of grafts, and you can really get a lot of coverage with it. But the question is, if you just try to take out grafts from the wrong places, because you can't take out grafts from the beard, then those grafts will not remain for a lifetime. So that is one of the major reasons. Always use grafts taken out from the safe or permanent donor area only. Whether head, whether body parts, beard area, every area. The second is graft handling. That is also a problem. I see some people saying that okay, we'll use an implanter. Implanter is a very outdated way of trying to put grafts. It is not a new thing. It came out in around 1992 or something. It was made by a Chinese doctor for Chinese patients. They had thick hair, thick caliber hair, straight hair. So when you put on a needle and then you try to force the needle into the skin, that is what the implanter does. Then that root will go in, but only if your hair is really hard. But why would you let your roots go through that trauma? For the convenience of the doctor, for the marketing purpose of the doctor, that is not for your benefit. And even if someone says they can put grafts more densely, that is also not true. Imagine you are poking that needle once, put one graft, then poking the needle again. If you are putting it too close, the other graft will pop out. That is not the way to do dense packing. Correct way to do dense packing is when you make all those slits. When I make them very closely in correct angle direction. Then the graft is just held from the top. You open the slit and you just slide in the graft. The root is not touched. There is no cobblestoning because excess skin is removed. There is no pressure. There is no popping up of the grafts. Density is high. So the other reason why sometimes grafts can get damaged, they can lose half of their stem cells or even more. So if such a hair follicle exists, even if it grows, it will either be very curly or maybe very thin or may grow for some time and then fall off. So that is the second thing. Third, of course, is how you nourish those stem cells. Now when you have taken out the grafts, if you are in so much of a hurry to put it back, I don't think that is the correct way to do it. I have been doing hair transplants for 26 years now, out of which almost 24 years I have been doing FUE. We have taken out the grafts. They do not die off. We keep them in chilled ringers also, medium filled with nutrients also. And nowadays I keep them with antioxidants like resveratrol and fisetin also. Imagine when resveratrol and fisetin go into the skin, they improve the condition of the DNA of the stem cells. They increase the TERT level of that area so that the telomeres become long and the stem cells become healthy and they start dividing. So when we did this for the grafts also, we exposed them to weak solution of diluted solution of resveratrol and grapeseed. We found the regrowth to be very fast also. We are still compiling data on this, but I found that this way of nourishing the grafts is much better. Of course, these grafts are also taken out. They are sorted also into singles and two hairs. And then they are placed in beautifully. And then when those grafts are placed inside, they all are going in the design in which I have made the slits. So the directions will be correct, the angles will be correct, the density will be perfect. Share this knowledge with others. Share it with your doctors also. They can also learn this, offer it to their patient. If they need the resveratrol or fisetin serums, we are offering it to other doctors also for their patients also. You can get in touch with me by WhatsApp or by email. Thank you.